want to share a self-foot massage with you. Now, I really quite like to give my yoga students a little bit of homework from time to time, and this is probably my favorite one. So you sit yourself down, you don't even really need your yoga mat. Make sure you're comfortable. So maybe you need to prop yourself up on a cushion, or if you have a yoga block or something, or a blanket, if that's more comfortable. I'm just sitting on the floor. For this one, I quite like having one leg out in front, and then I just cross my foot over so I can get hold of it. So we start with very simple massaging with the thumbs on the sole of the foot. You can squeeze as much as you like. You can go quite gentle or a little bit stronger here. Really massaging all around the whole sole of the foot. And as you do that, you can probably already feel where in the foot there might be a little bit of tension. Usually there are one or two spots that just feel a little bit more sensitive. And then we go all the way up to the toes, and then grab the toes and pull them, almost like you want to pull them off the foot. So just pull away, away, away. Also the big toe. Most of the techniques I do with my opposite hand to the foot. So I make a loose fist, and then just with a loose wrist, I give the sole of the foot a good knock. I go all the way up and down the whole length of the foot. Again, you choose how much oomph you want to put into this here. Really like waking up the foot a little bit. And then with long, soft fingers, we stroke the foot from the toes to the heels, almost like I want to say, sorry foot, I've just knocked you. So just stimulating here the skin really of the feet. Very nice. And then from here we take both hands, this time on top of the foot, and we begin to squeeze and wring it out. So one hand goes one direction and the other hand the other direction. You could imagine you're holding a really, like a heavy wet towel, and you really got to give it some to wring it out. So that's what we're doing here with the foot, and this way we are creating like really like the side to side movement inside the foot. I really quite like this one. It's probably my favorite one. Wringing it out. Great. And then we place the foot in front and massage the top of the foot also. So here you can go between the bones that you can feel in your foot and slide towards the gaps between the toes. Just be warned, it can be actually quite tense. So again, modify your pressure all the way towards the toes, or the gaps between the toes really. And you can also just with a nice broad long edge of the thumb squeeze and slide and circle out across the whole top of the foot. Great. And then we're going to give the toes a little stretch here. So I'm going to pull one toe down and the next one up. And then we changed over, so big toe up this time, next toe down. And then I go to the next pair, so toes 2 and 3, one up, one down, and then change. And then the next 2, 3 and 4, back and back. And the next 2, 4 and 5, one up, one down, and change. And then I can do this also through all of the toes, just pushing one side of all of the toes down and the other one up, and also change. We cross the foot over again, and then more for the toes. We're going to thread the fingers of the opposite hand between the toes. So the little finger goes between 4 and 5, the next one between 3 and 4, 2 and 3, and then 1 and 2. If you need to, you can just use your other hand to help you out to really get those fingers right into the spaces between. Here we can just support the ankle or the foot a little bit, and then we create nice, big, slow circles here with the foot. You can, as you come into flexion here, really feel the back of the foot nicely opening. And at the same time, you might notice how as the foot comes into this position, the toes squeeze your fingers a little bit more. So that's really where the sort of juicy place is, where it's happening. Nice big circles here. This might be, if you're doing this for the very, very first time, be a little bit intense. I remember when I did this for the first time, I nearly screamed out loud because my fingers just did not really fit between my toes. But now they come in quite nicely. Good. Just a couple more rounds here. And then we slowly release the fingers and let the toes breathe. That's kind of the feeling. All of that space between the toes, you can take a look. Usually it's quite noticeable how the toes open up this way. Then we put the foot again in front, and again with the opposite hand I make a fist, and I use here that bone of my index finger, and I give the back of the Achilles a really good rub with that, quite vigorously actually. Really rubbing up and down back of the Achilles here. And then release and just check your 2 feet. So I'm not sure it's visible on the camera, but one has really quite an alive color. The other one looks a bit sad. The toes are more alive. The foot feels really quite different. I'm checking in. Actually, I can feel the effect all the way up this side of the body even. So we better balance that out on the other side. Otherwise, we'll just walk around in circles all day. So I take my foot. We started with just the massage, so thumbs. So why do I really like working the feet like this? I think we abuse our feet most of the time, putting them in shoes, walking on concrete, because that's not really what they were made for at all. So naturally, they carry quite a lot of tension. Let's pull on the toes. Like you really wanted to pull them out of the foot almost. Big toe also. There we go. And then with the loose fist, give the foot a little knock. So we have 33 joints in each foot. Lots of bones, muscles, ligaments, tendons. So that gives us a big clue. Our feet are actually made to walk barefoot over an uneven ground. Soft hand, long fingers that stroke the sole of the foot gently, stimulating the skin more here. Good, and then both hands on top, wringing out the foot. So with all of the tension that we carry in the feet, that can have a quite strong effect on the rest of our body, on our posture, on our lower back. Even when, if you suffer from headaches, for example, that could be also because you have really tight feet. We have fascial connections that run right from the backs of the toes, all the way up the back of the legs, up the buttocks, up the whole of the back, and all the way around, coming to the front of the forehead. So it has really quite an impact and quite an effect on the whole of the body and the way we hold ourselves. So working the feet can be really helpful. Let's place the foot in front, massaging or squeezing first down between the bones towards the gaps in the toes. And then also, obviously, maybe you have already experienced reflexology. We have all of these really sensitive areas in the soles of the feet, and our whole body, our whole system is mapped out on the feet. So working on massaging the feet can also really stimulate all of the organs and all of our systems quite nicely. So that's another reason. And you might find at the end that energetically it sort of changes something. We'll check in on that. Let's stretch the toes. So one toe goes up, one toe goes down. And then change. And then the other side. And not the other side, the next two. Great. The next two. 3 and 4. And the last two. And then all of the toes, one side goes down, and the other side goes down. Good. And we cross the foot over again, threading the fingers between the toes so you can help out with the other hand. So you really get the toes in there, supporting here the ankle, and then big circles. Opening with the flexion here, also the back of the Achilles very nicely. So I guess I do have to also give you a little bit of warning, because if you do actually do this every day or on a really regular basis and work your feet, they might just get a little bit bigger. So since I started my kind of yoga life and turned my feet into yoga feet, I've gone up about half a size, which basically amounts to like a size. It's true. Also, I can't really wear heels anymore, nor can I wear any kind of pointy shoes. And now I'm lucky I live in Lisbon, because high heels and all of that you can't really wear anyway because of all of the cobblestones. So that's okay for me. But you know, if that's the favorite thing for you, then don't do these exercises basically. Not do them, because your feet really don't like those high heel shoes and pointy toes. Great. So one of the other reasons I really like this one is that you haven't really got an excuse for not doing it, because you don't even really need to allow extra time in your day for this. Let's place the foot in front, make a fist with the bone of the index finger, back of the Achilles, because you can easily do this, even like watching the telly really. So this is a practice you don't need to get up earlier for, or create an extra window. Quite sure there is something that you do during the day that you can just give your feet a little bit of attention at the same time. And if you do go to yoga class regularly, or any other kind of class, and you come 5 or 10 minutes early, then that's also a really great opportunity to just give your feet a little bit of attention before the start of the class. So make that time that you're already there, your time on the mat, already practicing and working out the feet. So now, like I said a moment ago, for me it also really is like a little energy booster also. So I really feel like it's a little sort of pick up energetically, and not only for my feet, but I can for sure also feel it in my hands, since I use my hands working the feet. So energetically I also feel a little bit more awake, a little bit more okay, ready to face the day. So it might be also a nice thing to actually do to start your day with. So a nice thing actually, if you do that at the start of the day, is to, as you now go and walk, to really be way more conscious of how you're connecting with the ground. And if you can walk a little bit barefoot, maybe just through the house to begin with, go for it. Observe your breath, walk a little bit more consciously, feel your feet. So enjoy, happy feet. Thank you for watching. Namaste.